Hey, welcome back. It's Stoney. Same creek, different spot. I'm testing a new area because I kind of just wanted to change the scenery and see what else the creek that I live on has to offer. So I walked up about a half a mile and I'll show you where I'm at right now, but I already ran through 4 buckets into my sluice. I have a 5th bucket ready to go here in a little bit. I might do 6 or 7 buckets total. I only really ever do maybe 2 or 3 buckets, so I'm happy and looking forward to seeing what 5 or 6 buckets is for cleanup. Now here, let me show you what I'm working on real quick. I got my sluice set up back there. I'm working about 3 feet away from the creek, starts about here. So the first bucket I did right here in the center. I got some good color. Second bucket, I went a little more towards the creek, got more good color. Then the third bucket, I went down over here. I had no gold. That's up more towards the bank over here. It's very sandy, very little rock. The 4th bucket's been down in this area, and now the 5th bucket, I'm kind of going more over here. So this is a good way to, test your ground. If you go perpendicular to the creek, you can kind of see where the pay layer starts and ends. So I know it's not up here, and it's right about here, but I'm just checking to see if it's down in this area a little bit more. Now, when I was on my sluice, I could tell if I got more specks in my V matting, if I was on the gold or not on the gold. Now, I do assume there's more where the riffles are, but that indicator mat is really good to know if you're on gold. Now, I only went about a shovel blade of depth into the material right here. I don't want to go much lower than that right now. I'm just kind of trying to skim the surface. This creek is really known for gold that's on the top surface. Now there is some gold down towards the rusty layer, but a lot of the fine stuff is right here on top within the first 6 to 8 inches. Now for the material I was working with up in here, it's very sandy, very little rock. As you come more towards the creek, you're getting some pebbles, you're getting some smaller than fist-sized rocks. And then as you go this way, we start to get, potato size or fist-sized rocks. So it's better towards the creek where the bigger rocks are, but there's also a lot of sands in here. Now let me show you real quick the creek, what it's doing in this area. It's pretty cool, and it will kind of give you a better idea of why I chose this spot. So the creek is way up there. It comes down over the top right here, does this little S curve, and then a real big S curve, and then almost like a U-turn right here. There's my sluice. And that's where I'm working on the material back here. So it's on the back end of this huge bend, and it's really a good idea to prospect in these areas with these big boulders, middle boulders, or big stones, medium-sized stones, small stones, sand. But what I've found on this creek is my luck has usually been where these gravels are. So that's why I chose this spot. Now this might be particular to my area in Washington State on this certain creek, but I have really good luck right in this stuff right here, and it's a lot easier to get a shovel full and classify it. It takes virtually like 15 minutes to full an entire 5-gallon bucket versus working over in here where all these huge stones are. I mean, look at the size of these things. You can move a lot of material and it would take you forever to fill up your bucket. So spots like this, normally, we're told not to really work on spots like this, but I get really good gold here. I'm gonna show you the sluice real quick and show you what I'm catching. Now here's the sluice. You can see a lot of black sands in front of those riffles, and that's a very good sign. This is after 4 buckets, so my riffles are not completely full yet. They're getting there, probably my 5th and 6th bucket. They'll be at the point where I have to clean my sluice out. But like I said, that's a really good sign if you have black sands forming like that right there. And then if you look in the V matting where our indicators are, all those specks, I apologize for the glare, but that's all gold. There's a lot of gold in here. And when I run each bucket through, I kind of have a, mental picture of what gold was there before, so I can see if new gold's dropping in to let me know if I need to move areas on the creek or stay in the same spot. That's kind of what I've been doing to judge where I prospect at this spot. So this is the 5th bucket. The flow is really good in my Keen A51 sluice. I can do a scoop every 5 to 6 seconds. And the way that I tell is that if this first riffle right here, I start seeing blue come back, that's the moss mat, that moss matting underneath. I know that I'm pretty good to go ahead and put some more scoops in there. It all depends what you have. But I've used this sluice so many times. I love this sluice. It's kind of my go-to, and I know how to use it, and it works very well. Now I do have a dream mat that Secret Creek Prospecting is letting me borrow still. I do want to get a dream mat on my own, and I want to get it so I can put some indicator VMAT upstream on the top side of the sluice. That's the only thing I don't like about that current sluice box that has the dream mat in it. And I like dream mat. It's not dream mat's fault. It's the sluice box itself. I like seeing this black matting up front because I can tell if there's gold, in here. With the dream mat currently, how I have it set up in that sluice, it's just the dream matting, which catches the gold, trust me. But I can't see if I'm even on the gold because I'm not really testing with a pan. I'm just taking a shovel with a bucket, classifying it, and running it through. And if I can't see gold, then I don't know if I'm on the spot or not. That's why I like the V-matting. So when I do get my own dream mat, I'm gonna put some V-matting up top, and then that'd be my go-to because I know that works very well. So I'm going to finish this bucket up right here. I'll bring it back in. I'll show you what we got on our indicator mat if anything changes. And it's getting kind of late, so I might just do 5 buckets and call it a day because I got to walk back downstream again. But it's definitely fun being out on a new section of the creek. It's a great fall day. There's no bugs. It's in the mid-50s. It really can't get any more perfect than today. The sun's not beating down you, you're not sweating, your hands aren't that cold yet. So this is the perfect time, in my opinion, to prospect. It really is. Just saw a big piece drop right here. Real nice piece. So don't be afraid to go out in the fall and the wintertime around Washington State especially. Weather's pretty decent besides the rain. It's pretty mild and you're gonna get some gold. Not having those bugs, whew, that makes a huge difference. All right, 5th bucket's done. VMAT is showing some more gold. That's showing up, and there's a nice big chunk that showed up right there during this bucket. So that's a good indication. That's probably the biggest chunk I've seen drop into here. Riffles look good. I'll let it clean out for just a few more minutes, then we'll pan it down. I'm panning it down. I want to show you all the black sands. Look at that. That's so much black sand in there. I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to put it into a different pan. That way I can put it into my quart bucket that I got right up there. That way I can take it back to the shop and clean it out better on my table. I'll pan this down and show you guys what I got. There's our quick cleanup. Like I said, there's a lot of black sands. There's probably a lot more gold that I just let go out of this pan into the other one. But that's a pretty good indication of what this spot has to offer. There's some good gold there. Looks nice and yellow. Pretty big size. No pickers, but that's all right. I don't expect to find pickers on this creek. That's some pretty good flake. That was a pretty good day. Spent about 3 hours out here, almost 4 with the walk that I have to do here in a little bit, but I'm happy. I'll be back to this spot. The walk's not that bad. There's just a couple trees to go underneath and over. But yeah, so that's how I find new ground. That's how I test using my sluice. And, you know, I think it's pretty effective, and I hope you enjoyed the content. Drop me a like, leave a comment, and subscribing is always free. Until next time, thanks for watching, and take it easy.